Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here. Hope you got the notification. Shegun Fatuma morning. Mashu Esang. Tokumbo Talks. Popola. Nosa Favor. Oge Emmanuel. Alewu. Shigo. Adedamola. Obediah. Laulu. Shola Lamodi. Sydney. Ngwenya. Mayowa, I think. Lola Shoronke, Pat Agwans, Lemmy Benga, Gregory Femi, Victoria Salau, Anastasia is back, Yomi Jegede, Joti Dowu, Ushe Godfrey, Bamishaye Victor, hi. Deli Phillips, Vladimir Kirishenka, Comfy here, Apostle Yomi Onadikwe, Richard Buzima, T.Y. Moore, Charles Smith, Taiwo Abo Abba, Ikifa, Ola Martin, Thank you, Nosa. Nosa says, looking more like a doctor today, sir. Love the red tie. Thank you. Thank you. Well, today is a very serious day for me. I will announce to you why later on. I will make an announcement towards the middle or towards the end of this program. Okay. Here we are, another day here, another day of grace, another day of glory, another day of God's great visitation. I want to call upon every one of you that is with me right now to go share the link of this message. Go look for your share button. You need to share it so that you could have a copy of it. If you share the link, it will be your copy. So go share the link for this message. Go share the link for this message. Let it get you a copy, and then your friends as well will be able to see it later on. So let's get a copy and share the link, and we'll be ready to go. Once you have shared it, okay, we'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to go. Okay. All right. I hope you got the message. The title of today's message is Work, God's Great Invention for You. Work, God's Great Invention for You. God's Great Invention for You. Wow. I'm so excited about this topic. I can't talk enough about it. But before I go ahead, let me make the one very important announcement that I will also like to make towards the end or towards the middle of this meeting. If you are a Nigerian and you are here, it doesn't matter where you are watching from. You might be in Nigeria itself or you might be outside of Nigeria. But if you are of Nigerian descent, or maybe you are not, but if you have a direct contact to the very top leadership of Nigerian government. I have some, but you don't always get them when you want to get them. So any one of you who has a very direct contact, or you could contact me, or you could talk to anybody in the top notch of the Nigerian government, if you have any access that you could talk to them, there is a request I want to pass across that needs to be done urgently today. Not a request. It's actually a matter of national importance. The destiny of Nigeria might depend on it. So I need to urgently pass across this message. I have some direct contacts, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get them. So as soon as I finish this broadcast, I'm going to be on it to try to get the very, very top leadership of Nigeria to talk to them, and I need to communicate to them a matter of a very important urgency, national importance. So if any one of you is in Nigeria or from Nigeria and you know anyone, the best way to make one or two calls and get to the very top leadership of the Nigerian government, this information that I have is going to greatly influence the destiny of that country, and it could decide what will happen in the next few months or years of our country. So if you have any direct access to the Nigerian government, you could write to me right now, or while the program is going on, or immediately after, and I will get back in touch with you. So, of course, my mail is pastor@godembassy.org. pastor@godembassy, one word, God Embassy, one word, godembassy.org. godembassy.org. So if anyone wants to get in touch with me about that, that would be nice. That would be nice. It's very important that I get in touch with one of the top two or the top three leadership of the country in the next 24 hours, in the next maybe 1 hour or so, just after this program. All right, here we go. Now, the topic of today again is work, God's great invention for you. Wow. I've spoken about time as the greatest resource that God has given unto us. I don't know which one I would say is the greatest. I think time is probably the greatest resource that God has given unto us. But one of the other greatest resources that God has given unto us is work. Oh, I'm so sorry the way some people trivialize work. I'm so very sorry the way some people behave about work and what they say about work and how they talk down work and how they relate to work and behave towards work. I see work is just something trivial. That is so sad. That is so sad. Work is the thing that should get you most excited in life. There should be nothing that should be getting you more excited than work. Not job, but work. Work. Wow. That is the greatest thing God created for you. It's the greatest invention for man. Now, the greatest thing, the greatest resource, the greatest wealth God created for the earth and for all of humanity, of course, is time. But for you personally as an individual, the greatest thing that God has invented for us as man, our greatest invention, God's greatest gift to us is work. Work. The ability to work. And I want to just open your eyes to that and help you to understand that each time God gives you the grace to wake up every morning, you should just be rejoicing. Work is more important than vacation. Work is more important than the beach. Work is more important than the sand of the Caribbean. Work is more important than the ocean. Work is more important than pleasure. Work, the greatest invention for man. Work, God's greatest invention that He has given for us and to us. And you would not believe what is going to be happening by the time I begin to explain to you the importance and the relevance of work. If you understand work, you don't need any more adrenaline. The greatest adrenaline you need is work. If you understand work, you've gotten your adrenaline from there. If you just by the concept of it, just by understanding it, just understanding work is supposed to be surging into you so much grace, so much energy, so much power, so much enthusiasm, so much positiveness, so much, so much optimism. Work is supposed to be giving you a surge of energy. Work, God's great invention for you. God's great invention for you. God's great invention for me. God is very considerate, and God is very wonderful. And in his great consideration, he has decided to bless you and I with work. Let me tell you something about work. In John chapter 5, verse 17, John chapter 5, verse 17, Jesus was talking. He was talking about work. And what did he say here? John 5:17, Jesus said, but Jesus answered them and said, my Father worketh hitherto, and so I work. My Father works hitherto, and so I work. My Father is working up till now, and so I work. By the way, if you have not shared this link, please go ahead and look for the share button. Go share this link, please. Go share this link because it's going to be so important just for you. It's going to be important for you because you must have the record of this link. This link has to be on your timeline every day. Maybe this message, you need to go back to it and listen to it every day. Now, let me tell you something here. This passage that I just read, we all know it, and it looks so ordinary, but it is not. It is not. This message here, look what Jesus said. It says, his Father, that is God. God works all the time. And Jesus said, God, my Father works up to now. Even now, my Father works. And because my Father does not stop working, I cannot stop working. Now, if you ask most people, most Christians, they will tell you that God stopped working on the seventh day. No. The Bible says that God rested from all his works on the seventh day, but he did not stop working. That is totally different. We think that there is a time that God doesn't work. There is no time that God, this is what Jesus is bringing to our perspective here, that we should try to understand, what Genesis chapter 2 says in perspective. The reason why God, let me tell you what work does for God. Why God has to work. I will tell you, even God has to work. Even God has to work. Even God has to work. And even God cannot stop working. And there is a reason. And that is the only reason that is just what I understood. Why God cannot stop working. Can you imagine what are the reasons behind God not able to stop working? What are the things that he understands? If I understand that God is an excitement for God, that work is an excitement for God, that work excites God, that work energizes God. If work does such a great thing for God, can you imagine what a great thing work should do for us? Now, let me tell you this. Why is it that God cannot stop working? Why is it that my Father works up to now? Why is it that God works hitherto up to now? Why is it that God cannot even stop working for a second? Listen closely. Now, you have to listen to this now. You've got to listen to this now. You've got to listen to this. The reason why God cannot stop working even for a second is because true work, when God works every second, as he works, God unveils himself. Work gives God the possibility and opportunity to unveil himself in a newer dimension every time he works. When God says, let there be light, that is work. By saying, let there be light, God unveils himself. He displays and unveils himself as light. When God says, let there be trees, let there be the trees of all kinds, God, by saying, let there be trees, is working. By working, he unveils himself again, and we see trees. When God says, every time God works, God is revealing himself. God is unveiling himself. God is becoming new every day. what do you call it? Is it Songs of Jeremiah or what do you call it? What do you call it? Jeremiah, but the other one after Jeremiah, the Russian one of it is coming to me. Lamentation of Jeremiah. I'm translating it from Russia. Lamentation of Jeremiah is tells us that God is love, and God's loving kindness is renewed every morning. So just like God's love and God's nature is renewed every morning, work allows God to renew himself. Work allows God to renew himself. Work allows God to renew himself. Work gives even God the opportunity to unveil a fresh of himself, freshness of God, a new part of God, a new particle of God. You know, what comes to my mind right now is a picture of an onion. You know onion? Onion, okay. It has peels, layers. And when you peel it off, you have new layer. When you peel it off, you have new layers. That is it with God. When God works, a new layer comes on, a new part of himself, a new particle. God is always renewed, and work is one of the ways he uses to unveil. God is absolutely infinite. Is absolutely infinite. It's unending. It's endless. It's inexhaustible. And the more he works, the more he does something, the new part of him we see, the new dimension of God will say, oh, his goodness is renewed every second, not just every morning, my dear. His love is renewed every second, not just every morning. His loving kindness is renewed every time. And through works, he brings forth a new part of himself. Through work, he brings forth a new dimension of himself. Now, if work would do that to God, and so God cannot stop renewing himself. God cannot stop unveiling himself. And so God cannot stop, demonstrating the newness of life. God cannot stop bringing forth. God cannot stop breathing with new life, with new energy, with new creativity, with new nature, with new beauty, with new greatness. God cannot stop unveiling himself. The greatness and the wealth of what he is and who he is renewed every second, every minute. If work does that to God, if work would do that to God, if God needed work to unveil and manifest the greatness and the beauty and the love and the loving kindness and his nature on daily basis, on continual basis, on second basis, on every minute basis, what do you think work will do for us? What do you think work will do for us? So listen to me carefully. Work, therefore, is the greatest invention God has for you. So if you understand work, you will be the most excited person on the earth. Work will get you excited. Work will get you excited. Work will get you energized. Work will release the energy of God upon you. Work will release the impotency of God inside of you. Now, what that means is, when you work, listen closely now. When we work, we discover ourselves. Work allows you to discover a new you every time. Try to think about something. You will not even believe that, oh, I never knew I knew that. I never knew this could come out of me. Oh, I can't believe I'm the one who did this. Work will discover you. Work is one of God's instruments for you to discover yourself. Work is one of God's instruments that he has given unto you. God's blessings, God's great invention that he has handed over to you, through which you will discover the wealth, the depth of 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 wealth that God has planted into you. Oh, my friend, my brother, my sister, believe me, God has planted a depth of wealth, A depth of wealth. A depth of wealth inside of you. And you need to unveil it before you die. And the greatest key and the greatest invention, the greatest instrument that God has given to you to unveil that wealth, that depth of wealth that He has put inside of you is work. It is only through work you will be able to discover that there is greatness in you, that there is wealth in you, that there is something buried within you, that there is a seed of greatness in you, that you are not ordinary, that you are supernatural, that you are made to be great, that you are made to be special, that you are greater than what you see, that what you see cannot limit you, that what you have now cannot limit you, that you are much more greater, that you are much more superior, that you are much more inexpandable than you could imagine. There is so much wealth in you. There is so much grace in you. There is so much resource in you. There is so much possibility in you. There is so much God nature in you. There is so much nature and the wealth and the fullness of God that is buried inside of you, that one of the greatest things you could do to yourself, is to discover that greatness. And the way to do that is through work. Work. God's great blessing to us. Work. God's great blessing to man. Work. God's great blessing to man. Work. God's great blessing to you and I. Wow. So when I hear preachers beginning to talk and say that one day of work is enough, and that one day of work, what did they say? One day of work, one day of favor is better than maybe one year of work. One day of favor is better than 1 year of work. You want to tell me that? You want to tell me? Who are those preachers? Show them to me. We're supposed to run them out of town. 1 day of what? 1 day of favor is better than 1 year of work? Or better than 10 years of work? 1 day of favor is better than 10 years of work? Then you don't know God. It is true that there is power in favor. God will give you favor, but there is nothing that is better than work, my dear. There is nothing that is better than work. Work is God's own invention. He did not invent favor to resolve the problem of the earth. He did not invent favor. He didn't Now, I'm sorry, there is one Godwin Kwalbe here who is trying to be sarcastical on me. Godwin Kwalbe is saying, Pastor, tell us about your hero, Buhari. Don't be so silly. Don't be so smallish. We are talking serious deal here. Don't be so pittish. Don't be so pettish. Godwin, behave like a grown-up guy, okay? Any other silly comment like that from you, I'm going to block you. Send you back where you're coming from, all right? Thank you. Okay, here we go. By the way, in the beginning of this program, I made an announcement that I need to talk to the top notch of the Nigerian government. I have some information, very critical information for them. I have personal contact with some of the top-notch, the leader of Nigeria, and you don't always get them when you want to get them. But in this time, the information I have is so crucial that I must get to speak to one or two or three of the top leaders of the country today, as fast as possible. In the next 1-2 hours, I must speak to either the first person or the second or the third later. I must, if you know anybody who knows somebody that could connect me to the one of the first, the top 2-3 leadership of Nigeria, I have an information that could decide the destiny of the nation in the next, few days or few months or few years. So I will try to reach them from my own contact, but maybe I have some direct numbers, but we'll see. So if you have a way of getting any one of them, please write me to pastor@godembassy.org. pastor@godembassy.org. This is very crucial. It's very crucial. It's a national interest thing, and it's not a political thing. It's something that is so very very important. So if you know any 1 or 2 calls that could be made to get the first 2 or 3 leadership of Nigeria, write to my email, pastor@godembassy.org. We need to fix that today. Okay. Well, where was I before the great guy Godwin came in? I think I was talking about favor. Yeah, favor is great. Favor is great, but let me tell you about favor. Favor is something you get almost for free. When you get something for free, you don't need to work for it. Why should you be like that if God is working? Why should pastors and leaders stimulate their members and their followers to desire to have something for nothing? Why should we speculate that people can have something for nothing? Why should we speculate that people can have something for nothing? Why should we speculate and cultivate the culture of having something for nothing? Where is that coming from? That is not from the kingdom of God. We should not, those ideas and those culture of living by miracle, waiting for miracle, breakthrough, miracle, and favor every day. Come on. Yes, God does miracles. Yes, God could give you favor. Yes, God could give you breakthrough, but those are exceptions out of the rule. That is not we are not supposed to live by those things on a daily basis. We are not supposed to live by miracles. We are supposed to know the nature of God, and the nature of God is work. Work is the order of life. Work is the order of life, not miracles. Miracles are not the orders of life. We are not created to just go and lie down somewhere and be getting favor and do nothing for it. We are not created to just lie down there and hoping to get something for nothing. That is not the nature of God. Even God cannot afford to do that. That is not the nature of God. If it's not the nature of God, then it's not our nature. It's not something we should be yearning for or waiting for or desirous of. Okay, if you want to live your Christian life by waiting for favor, go to those churches, go follow those preachers, good for you. But you will never be remembered. You will never be remembered. You will never be remembered, not a curse. But if you want to leave your footprint at the sand of history, if you want to live for time and eternity, you must be like God. You must behave like God. You must begin to follow the footstep of your father. And the footstep of your father is to work just like your father does. Even Jesus could not afford himself the luxury of just waiting for favor. Jesus could not afford the luxury of just waiting for miracles. Jesus could not afford that luxury of waiting for breakthrough. Even Jesus, the Son of God, who is more qualified than you, who is more holier than you, who is more prayerful than you, he was not sitting down there and waiting for breakthrough, was not sitting down there and waiting for favor, was not sitting down there and waiting for some luck. Come on, let's get back to the Bible. Come on, Christians. Christians, come on. Begin to imitate your Father. Begin to imitate your God. Leave those sheepy messages behind. Leave those sheepy self-gratification kind of messages. Run away from them. Be drawn to the messages that preach and reveal to you the nature of your Father. The nature of your Father. If you need favor, God will give you favor. But you don't need to look for favor. If you need miracle, God will give you miracles. Don't need to look for miracles. If you need a breakthrough, God will give you breakthrough. Don't let your life be centered around looking for miracles, looking for breakthrough, looking for favor. Let your life be centered around being like God, imitating God like Jesus did. Jesus said, I'd like to be like him. He is the first son of the Father. He is our example. He is the first son among the brethren. And he said he wants to be like his Father. And what does he want to be like? He doesn't want to lie down somewhere and be waiting for breakthrough. He doesn't want to lie down somewhere and be waiting for favor. He doesn't want to lie down somewhere and be waiting for miracles. But he rather said, I want to be like my Father. And how did he say it? Jesus answered and said, my Father walks up to now. He is proud of his Father. He wants to be like his Father. He is so proud of his Father. He wants to imitate his Father. My Father walks up to now, and I work. So when they told him that he couldn't work on Sunday, he called a bluff of them. He just neglected all their religiosity, their Pharisaism and their Judaism and all their religiosity. And Jesus went to work on Sunday. Can you imagine on Saturday, on Sabbath? Can you imagine there are some people who say you cannot work on Sunday today? Because of ignorance. Jesus said, it is not about the day. Let me tell you about Sabbath. Some people are talking about Sabbath. Listen to this. Listen to this. Sabbath is not about not working. Sabbath is about entering into rest. God established, listen to this closely. God established the Sabbath not as an excuse not to work, or not, it doesn't mean not to work. Sabbath means rest. Sabbath means entering into God's rest. Listen to this. The reason why God established Sabbath was not because there is a day where you shouldn't work, when you should not work. That is not what God is talking about. God established and instituted Sabbath as a day that is reserved for the person of Christ. So it's not about work, it's about rest. It's a symbol of things to come. It's a symbol. God is trying to sanctify. God sanctified the seventh day. God sanctified Sabbath. He made it, sanctified means he purified it. He made it holy. Not because it should not work or because of that. No, he purified it. In the Old Testament, yes, you should not work. That is in the Old Testament. Why? It's for people to take it into their mind that there is a redemption coming, there is a Messiah coming, there is the Lord of the universe coming, and that Lord is going to be the Lord of the universe. He's going to be the Lord of the earth. He's going to be the Lord of Sabbath. And it is a sanctification to be a symbol of the coming Christ, so that when Christ comes, we will know that he is our rest. In Hebrews, the Bible tells us that he is our Sabbath, he is our rest, Christ is our rest. And Jesus himself said, the day was created for, not the man was created for the day. We are not created to serve Sabbath. We are not created to serve the day. No, it is the Sabbath that was created for us, to serve us. The Sabbath should be serving us. The Sunday should be serving us. We are not to be serving the Sunday or Saturday. The day should be serving us. Listen closely to what Jesus said. Jesus said, I am the Lord of the Sabbath. What he's trying to say is that it is because of me that the Sabbath was instituted. The Sabbath was was instituted because of Christ, so that we will know that he is our rest, so that when Christ comes, we will enter into him. It is not about the day, it is about Christ. So it was sanctified, set apart until the coming of Christ, so that when Christ comes, we will enter, we will be worshiping not the day again, but we will be worshiping Christ. So Sabbath is a symbol of Christ. Is for you to know that just like in the Old Testament, people sanctified and honored the day, but now when Christ is here, it is no more the day we are honoring. It is the Lord of the day we are honoring. It is a symbol to preserve us, to build in us a culture of worship, worshiping the Christ. And it doesn't matter what day you worship him, as long as you worship him, it is a symbol of the Christ. It is a day that is sanctified to build in people the culture of worship, to put in them reverence, to put in them honor for the Lord of the Sabbath. It is not about the day, it is about the Lord of the Sabbath. So that is why Jesus did not honor Sabbath. That is why Jesus went to work on Saturday. That's why Jesus was working on Sabbath. Why? Because he knew that it is not the day you are supposed to worship. He now has come, a replacement has taken place. It is now the Lord of the Sabbath you are supposed to be worshiping, not the day anymore. The day is like the Bible says that the law is like a guardian until grace comes. You know, the law was instituted in the Old Testament like a guardian until grace comes. So, the same way with Sabbath. Sabbath was instituted so that when Christ comes, we will recognize Christ as our Lord, as our Savior, as our rest, as our Lord. He is the Lord of the Sabbath and the Lord of every one of us. So that's why Paul said, don't let anyone deceive you by telling you to worship one day or the other. Go and look at Romans chapter 14. Go and look at Colossians. Go and look at Galatians. All those scriptures, Apostle Paul said, don't let anybody deceive you that you have to worship only in one day or the other, Saturday or Sunday. Of course you can work on Saturday. You can work on Sunday. You can work every day. The most important thing is not about work. The most important thing is about Christ. It's for you to honor Christ. It's honoring the Lord of the Sabbath, the one who created the Sabbath, the one for whose Sabbath was created. It's about you honoring him not just one day, but honoring him every day. That is what it's about. So it's not about working or not working one day or the other. So it is about rest. If you look at, at Genesis chapter 2, you see that God rested as a symbol of rest and sanctify it so that we will know that there is a rest coming for us, a rest coming for the whole world, and that rest is Christ, and we got that rest in him. We got our rest in him. He said, I have come to give you rest. He came to give us rest. We have rest in him. So as long as you are in Christ and you have your rest in him, you could work any day, you could work anytime, you could work Sunday, you could work Saturday, you could work anything. Most important thing, that God is working all the time. God is not did not stop working. That is not the idea right there. The idea of stop working is for the Old Testament, for them to honor that day until Christ comes, so that they will recognize Christ and they will be able to worship Christ when Christ, who is the owner and who is the Lord of that day, comes. It is a sanctification that is talking about. The day was sanctified, was set apart. Sanctified means set apart as a special day. For what? So that you will recognize the owner, the creator, that is the Lord of that day, so that when he comes, he will become our rest. He is our rest. The day is not our rest. It is God that is our rest. Get that right. Don't let religious people come and throw rubbish and garbage on your head and get you confused. You have to work every day. You've got to work every day. You've got to work every day. Because, who will you believe? The word of Jesus. Even the lifestyle of Jesus. Even Jesus was working on Sabbath. If Jesus himself was working on Sabbath, why should you listen to anybody talking rubbish, religious rubbish and garbage here? Just listen to the Lord of your soul, your Redeemer and Savior. Jesus himself worked. So that is a proof to you that all those rubbish that people are running about telling you not to work on Sunday is rubbish. If you need to pursue your calling on Sunday, go for it. If you need to work and do what God you need to do on Sunday, do go and do it. Because the most important thing is that you worship God every day. The most important that you worship Christ every day. It's not about the day. It's about you walking in God and worshiping God. So because Jesus said, it is what his Father said. If my Father is walking up to now, this is what he saw his Father doing. My Father walks up to now. My Father walks all the time. If my Father is walking up to now, I'm going to work. I'm going to work. So don't let anybody deceive you. Go ahead and do your work. Do the work that you need to do. If it's Sunday, Saturday, it doesn't matter. Of course, go to work. Are pastors not working on Sundays? I'm a pastor. I'll tell you the truth. The main working day of pastors is Sunday. Are praise and worship leaders not working on Sunday? Of course they are working. Of course we are all working on Sunday. Are we not cooking on Sunday? Are we not, cleaning our compound, our house on Sunday? Of course, don't be deceptive. Don't just be hypocritical. Let's just face it. We all work on Sunday. So just, forget about it. He's talking about rest. He's talking about Christ, and he's our rest. So if our Father is working up to now, we are all going to work. If our Father is working, we should work every day. I mean, one part of work is thinking. Can you imagine that you will not think because it's Sunday? And because the greatest amount of work is not the one you do physically. Because people who say you don't work on Sunday, they are thinking of work as a physical thing. They are thinking of work as something you do physically. But work, the greatest work you could ever do is the mental work. And that is thinking. So you want to tell me you will not think on Sunday? Because it's Sunday, you will not think? Or because it's Sabbath, you will not think? You suspend your mind? Or you suspend your brain? Even God doesn't give you that luxury to suspend your brain. Even if you want to suspend it, you cannot suspend it. Because God makes it in such a way that your brain will work anyway, independent of you. On Sunday, your brain will work. On Saturday, your brain will work. On Sabbath, your brain will work. Your brain is programmed in such a way that it will work, either you like it or you don't like it. And that is the truth. And that it should tell you something. And that is telling you that God does not stop working, because that is his nature that is in us. He put his nature in us, and the brain is pointing to how his nature is. The nature of God is continual work, and that is why he made us, to make our brain to always work. You cannot put it off. And that is the greatest kind of work. That is the most intensive kind of work. So if the brain is working all the time, if your mind is working all the time, why do you say you cannot work on Sunday? Why do you say there is a day you cannot work? If your brain is working, that is the most intensive kind of work. Some people don't work physical only. They are working by the brain, mental work. Mental work is the most intensive kind of work. And so if you are working mentally, if you are thinking what to eat, where to go, if your mind is working, that is work. And even if you don't want to work, the mind will still be working, either you like it or not. Subconsciously, you are still working, and the work is still going on. So don't let anybody just put some garbage upon you and put fear in you. God is not ruling by fear. God is ruling by love. And our God is a God of love. So work is God's great invention for you. Let me tell you something. Work does for you. When you work, you discover yourself. When you work, you discover yourself. When you work, you discover yourself. There is so much of you that you have not discovered. So when you work mentally, when you read, and you do self-education, you are adding value to yourself. You add value to yourself, and the more you add value to yourself, the more you read, the more you discover that you could be different. You could be greater than you are. You could be much, you could be much more, you could be much more, complex than you are. You could be much more inventory than you are. You could be much more creative than you are. You could be much more, you could be much more beautiful than you are. You could be much more, great than you are. So if you don't, somebody is saying, if you don't work on a day, if you could put off your brain, then you'll be brain dead. Not to work on Sabbath on Sundays, you'll be brain dead, because the greatest amount of work is taking place in the brain. So if you say you are not going to work one day, you just put off your brain and you'll be brain dead. God will receive you very fast. You go to heaven quick. So, of course, God set up all our organism to work all the time. Don't you go to the toilet every day? On Sunday, don't want to tell me that your digestive system doesn't work on Sunday? You want to tell me that your digestive system doesn't work on Sabbath? Does it take a holiday on Sabbath? Even if you don't eat, your digestive system will still work. Even if you are not working, even if you are not eating that day, it's still working. Your body is still working. It's not just your mind that is working. Your body is working too. Even if you are not if you are not eating that day, your not just your digestive system is working. Your blood system is working. Your blood system is working. Go and put it off now. Let it take break. Let it stop working. God set us all up as a system to be working 24 hours, 100%. And that should show you about something about God. That tells you that God works all the time. God works all the time. So even if you say you are not working, your mind is working, your blood system is working, your digestive system is working, your whole system is working, and you say you are not working. Wake up, guys. Wake up, guys. This 21st century, use your mind, use your brain. My God. Don't let religion destroy your life. Don't let religion blindfold you. Don't let religion turn you into some form of vegetable. Don't let religion turn you into blind and deaf. Don't let religion just cause you to be, I don't know what. That is why unbelievers are having more results. That is why unbelievers are the ones that are leading in our world today. Because Christians are just too religious, and we are allowing religion to just dumb us out, to just blind us out, to just make us like irrelevant, absolutely useless. And this is so sad. This is so sad. Every time you work, you unveil yourself, my dear. Every time you work, you unveil yourself. Every time you work, either mentally or spiritually or physically, you are unveiling yourself. You are discovering a new part of yourself. Like that same onion, the layers of onion. Every work you do, everything you create, when you finish creating something, another form of you comes out. When you when you remove one layer, another one comes out. When you remove another layer, another one comes out. So that is what work's supposed to do for you. God wants you to know that you are inexhaustible. You are inexhaustible. God has created so much in you. God has put so much in you. God has deposited so much in you that you will never have time to create enough. You will never have time to discover all that is in you enough. So much in you, and you need work. You need to work every minute. You need to work every second. Can you imagine if God is working every second? If God is working every minute, who are you not to work? Are you better than God? Are you better than Jesus? If your son, you're talking about people that say you shouldn't work on Sunday. I used to know some people who say in Israel, they say you don't work on Saturday. Israel is a religious country. You don't work until one person who was arguing that you don't work on Sabbath. You know what happened? One day, God forbid, their son, fell into reanimation. What they call it? Emergency. He was brain dead, and he had a stroke and the brain dead. You know what happened? The whole of Israel, they released helicopter. All the hospitals are working. Go to Israel today. All the hospitals are working. Is that not work? Is that not work? The nurses are working. If everybody who is telling you no, don't go to work or don't work on Sunday, you tell them, God forbid, if your son or your daughter that you love so much gets brain dead or cancer on Sunday, will you say, let him just lie down at home, we'll go to hospital on Monday? Or you go to the hospital and tell the hospital workers, okay, don't treat my son, don't treat my daughter on Sunday or on Sabbath because today is Sunday or Sabbath. Hypocrisy. Religion is promoting hypocrisy. Is it just hypocrisy that people are saying don't work on Sunday and don't work on Sabbath? It's just hypocrisy. Full hypocrisy. Everybody is working on Sunday or on Sabbath. So it's just something that, it's just something that you shouldn't pay attention to, Kenny Candy said, I can't laugh. Oh. Don't let religion put you in his prison. Don't let religion put you in his prison. Set yourself free from the grip of religion. And set your mind free. Let your head begin to work. Let your mind begin to work. Let your You begin to use your brain. Begin to use your brain. Begin to use your logic. It's just like somebody said, your wife is in labor on Sunday. And you say, let's stop the labor. Let's stop the labor. You shouldn't give birth on Sunday. This is Sunday now. This is Sabbath. You shouldn't give birth. Labor on Sunday. And you say, okay, nobody should come and take the labor. Nobody should come and take the delivery of your daughter, or your son, or your wife that is giving birth on Sunday, because it is Sabbath. It is Sabbath, so you shouldn't give birth. It is Sabbath, so she shouldn't go to labor. Why should you go to labor? Because it's Sunday. Don't you know today is Sunday, holy day? You know, and you will tell the doctors, don't come to work, or even though my wife is giving birth and my daughter is about to deliver a child. No doctor should come to help. No nurses should come to help because it's Saturday or Sabbath or Sunday. That is religiosity. Set yourself free from religion. Set yourself free. You know how many people would have died if they had not been delivery and no doctors, no maternity service on Sundays? I would have died because I was born on Sunday. My wife would have died because she was born on Sunday. Or Saturday. Some people are born on Saturday. They would have died if nobody was on Saturday. So God works all the time. It's not about work. The Sabbath was talking about is about rest. It's about rest. And now Christ is our rest. Christ is our rest. So when you are in Christ, you are in rest. You are in Him. And so now you need to go ahead and be like God and begin to work. And God says He works up to now. He works all the time. He works all the time. So Jesus said, my Father works hitherto, and I work. If His Father is working up to now, you should work too. Work is one of the greatest inventions that God has given unto us. And through work, you will discover your gift. Through work, you will not just discover your gift, but you will fulfill your gift. Through work, you will be able to know your capacity. Through work, you'll be able to know what you can do. Through work, you'll be able to know your potential. Through work, you'll be able to know, that you are capable of doing so many things. Some people also preach this teaching in the churches that you can only have one calling. Forget about it. You have many callings. You have one basic primary calling, but you have many potentials. You have many talents. You have many abilities. Because through work, when you are good working on something, you will discover that there are many things you could do as well. Work will allow you to discover many abilities, many capacities that are in you. It's not just one thing you can do. Through work, you will discover that you can do more than one thing. So don't believe those people who say you can only do one thing and it is only one thing you are created for. No, you can do many more things than one thing. So go beyond just, getting yourself satisfied and say, okay, this is my only calling and this is the only thing I will do. That I'm only a pastor. I will only be in the pulpit. I will not do this. I will not do this. No. God has put so many things in you. It is through work that you have to discover them. You've got to discover everything that is in you, and you've got to fulfill all your potential. And it's through work that you can do this. It is through work you can do this. So work is something that you should love. We should all love work. Work is one of the greatest inventions, one of the greatest blessings that God has given to man. You have to be excited every time you hear about work. Some people are saying that work is a curse. What? Work is what? Curse? You tell me work is a curse? So God is cursed, eh? So you want to tell me God is cursed? Or Jesus is cursed that worked? Or the disciples that worked are cursed? Or Apostle Paul that said that he worked harder than every other person, so it means he's cursed. Hey, take it easy. Take it easy. Because work was instituted before the curse came. We saw work in chapter 1 of Genesis. God worked in chapter 1 of Genesis. Was it because it was cursed that he was working? The earth was without void and form. It was darkness. And because of work, we have what we have today. God made the whole whole wide world out of work. And man started working not after the fall, but before the fall. Man started working in Genesis chapter 2. So if man works, Why should, I mean, in Genesis chapter 2, before the fall and before sin, why should you also say that work is only as a result of curse, as sin? Yes, man was cursed in chapter 3, but man was working before then. In the Garden of Eden, there was work. Man was working in the Garden of Eden. So there is no way that work could have been cursed or work could be as a result of curse. No, there was work before curse came. Man was working before curse. So work is not a curse. Work is not a curse. All of us should work. All of us should work. So don't believe any one of those people telling you all those things. It's it's a result of laziness. And laziness is not a part of God. It's not the nature of God. And so be like your Father who is in heaven. Imitate your Father who is in heaven. And your God works, and so you should work. And your God didn't just walk 6 days and stop. He's working every day. That's what Jesus told us. God is working every day. And His word is working every day. You should work every day. You should work every day. And so we are supposed to work every day. Work is not cursed. Because it's work, why cursed, God would have been cursed. Or Jesus would have been cursed. But they are not cursed. So they are working, and we have to work as well. Oh my God. Well, what do I tell you? Let me tell you that again, if you know anybody in Nigeria or in the Nigerian top leadership, the top 2-3 leadership of Nigeria, I need to talk to one of them very urgently today in the next few hours. So if you know any one of them and you know how to get them quick and fast, please write to me right now. My email, pastor@godembassy.org. God Embassy, one word. God Embassy, one word. pastor@godembassy.org. So you might want to call me. Write me to that number. If you give your number or something, I'll call you back, and we could arrange how we could get one of the top 3 leaders in Nigeria. This is an urgent matter of national significance and importance. And also, if you have not shared this link, I think everybody needs to get a copy of this. And the only way for you to get a copy of this is for you to share it to your timeline, to your Facebook. So go look for your share button. Go look for the video wherever the video is, and share the link. Share the link of this video, of this message, and then so that your friends could get to see it as well. So let's share this link right there, and also I want to hear your impression. I want to hear what you heard or what you got from this message. What is your main conclusion? Let's hear your. I want to hear your thoughts. Write your impression. I'm going to read some of the comments as well. Okay, Ralph Rodriguez said, "Beloved Miles Monroe." Oh, okay, I think that's talking about Miles Monroe. We miss him. He taught it so well as well. Yes, Miles Monroe, right? Good. Godwin Ibekwe said, "This message is the deliverance Africa and the Philippines and all the developing countries need." Well, thank God. Anastasia, okay, is making a note of my messages. Kike Moronkeji said, "I will work and must work as does my Father in heaven." Right. That's the right attitude. Nkem Dike said, "I'm working right now as I listen to you, mentally and cleaning my house as well." Good. Joseph Olaya said, "We started working to effect development in our nature from sitting, curing, standing, then lifting our legs, then to adulthood." Oh, right. As kid, as a baby. Right. That's so true. Joseph Oyewole said, "Work, the greatest blessing that God gave humanity. Adam walked with God. So work is the way we express the image of God in us." Right. Kunsami Thompson said, "The curse work to sweat, not God's kind of creating by pronouncing." Adam and Eve really, okay. So the person who is saying that God walk only by talking is because God is spirit. God is not body. You have body. So you've got to work like man works, okay? Noel Okushuku said, "It's a preacher that don't want you to shine that will tell you to wait on favor, because he knows if you work, you will be great or greater. Daniel Oshonma said, if a man be in Christ, is a new creation. Behold, all things are new. Right. Elizabeth Ali says, if God should go and rest on Sunday or take rest as religious leaders claim, I wonder what would have happened to the earth or to humanity altogether. Yeah, you are right. Zenan Miki said, my country, Philippines, is so religious, you can hardly find a hospital working on Sundays, except for a few ones. Thank God a few ones are working, or most Filipinos would have been dead by now. At this area, was a majority of people have not even used 10% of their God's-giving potential, right? Joseph Olaya said, religion, dogmatism, indolence, ignorance, and doctrines are well rooted in Nigerian Christianity. I just thank God I discovered you, Pastor Sunday. Thank you. Afolabi, those who work on their gift and talent potential work better. Yes. Tiger said the church in Nigeria is built on the faulty foundation. Leaders driven by their selfish desires divide doctrines that do not promote the kingdom. Joseph says, Joseph Oyewole, a nation that is dependent on handout cannot amount to anything on earth when church members are dependent on handouts. Nigerian Arise says, religion is not just a form of imprisonment, it is imprisonment itself. Joseph says, men at work, no disturbance, and working the works of him who called me while it is day. Emmanuel Okoye says, Nigeria is losing a lot of money because of Sunday, not working on Sunday, because of this doctrine that you shouldn't work. Yetunde Awolese said, an explosive message. Yet again, Pastor Sunday, I will work on to unveil the multiple talents and gifting in me. I want to always be like my Father who is in heaven. Right. Anastasia McDonald says, I'm so excited at this new insight of work, Pastor, and I cannot wait to discover all the wealth of resources God has deposited in me. Beautiful. Elizabeth Ali says, I must work until I have released all potential inside of me into people, good products, and services. Work is living, so I want to live. Ludovic says, I must love the work. I must love to work is the means by which I discover myself. Right. Nkem Dike says, I must work. The Bible says in Proverbs 13:4 says, the lazy people want much but get little, but those who work hard will prosper. Right. Julian Mitali, thanks for the word, we appreciate it. Mashu, without work, life will be very boring. Work is our greatest gift from God. The word says, Luke was a medical doctor, Paul was a tent maker. Yvette says, we are in eternal rest at the same time because we are in Christ. That's so true. He's our rest. Daniel Oshomma said, the notion that work is from God is indeed a blessing. The message is well received and is fully loaded. Thank you, sir. Nelson Nwani said, your surrounding, I think he's talking about me, is nice. Why is this? This is my house. This is my house in Kyiv, Ukraine. Nosa Favor said, God bless you, sir. This was a powerful message. Now I am thinking of all those religious pastors that stop people from working on Sundays. D. Ward said, Jesus was a carpenter and his disciples were fishermen. They were walking. Noel Okoshuku said, this message is a revolution against laziness implanted in people through manipulative messages. By the way, if you have not shared this link, please go look for your share button. look for your share button. Under your video, you should see a share button there. Go share this link. It's going to be a blessing to a lot of people. Emmanuel Okoyo said, this was an amazing explanation of work. Great, great, great. Ugo Emeka said, this is liberating for the people of God. Keep it coming, sir. Yusharia Elobo said, we are gods and expected to work like God our Father. Patty Bafu said, my brain is being renewed and reprogrammed by your messages. Listening while feeding my babies. Good. Fumi Jeboda said, your dissection of the meaning of work and application to our lives is unparalleled. Thanks, Pastor. Elias Igwegbu said, so what does it mean that on the seventh day he rested? It means it sanctified the seventh day. You missed it. I explained that already. You have to listen to the message again. For you to listen to the message, press your share button. Once you press your share button, this message will come on your blog, on your Facebook timeline, and you'll be able to listen to it as many times as possible. Dennis says work is honorable. Yeah. Gloria Efe Kodo said, you'll be amazed by the great things you can achieve when you set your heart to work. Work is truly God's greatest invention for man. Shukuka Oye Kashuku said, work is power. Shigo Nwafo said, I had always planned never to retire. Right track. Timothy Jayola said, great work, great word. Elizabeth Ali says, John Maxwell says, I will work until I die. Noel Okushuku said, this message should encourage up-and-coming pastors to work and not wait on the small church members to give them stipend. Yeah, everybody should work, even pastors. Shola, I think that a pastor could only stop working when he has at least 1,000 people or over 1,000 people. Shola Adewodu said, sir, don't you think people will stop going to church on Sunday altogether, gathering of God's people? Well, people should go to church because they want to go to, not because it's a law. People should go to church because they want to go to. And the going to church is not the most important thing about Christianity. It's personal relationship is the most important thing. Personal is relationship with God is even more important than going to church. Udezuka said, good morning, Pastor, and everyone here. Work pays hand that stop working and is life. Our God is a good worker. I didn't get that, I think. Nikki Christian says, Pastor, even some of the ungodly music says work, work, work. The word said, look, okay. Esther Kuganja said, hello, everyone. I'm just doing a simple survey and we appreciate knowing how many of us have started projects, NGOs, and everything like that. Yeah, let's do a survey. If you have been listening to me for some time now and you have some ideas or some projects or some NGOs, something that you have started doing since you started listening to Pastor Sunday, you might want to contact Esther Kuganja and, get to her inbox and give her some information. Or you could write here. Fumi Jeboda said, I work every day and will continue until the purpose of God is fulfilled in my life. Amen. Ufu Oma said, I love to work, but your message today has just made me to fall in love with work all over again. I hate all the idleness and laziness. Shijuade Evangelist Moji said, thanks, Pastor, for this powerful message. God bless you and have a blessed day. Christopher said, sir, can you connect this message to your previous message on just working for people instead of discovering your purpose? Yeah, I'm going to. This is not the only, this message is going to continue tonight. I come on every day. British time, 7:30 p.m. 7:30 a.m. in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, and 7 p.m. in the evening. And the same with Nigerian time. 7:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. in the evening. And in the U.S., it's 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. in the evening. So I'm going to preach on work for some time. It's not just this message. It's going to be connected. I'm going to preach it for a week minimum. If Omar says, yeah, it's a misunderstanding of the favor of God. It's not that you should fold your hands and wait for favor when you are not working. Onyinye Okoro said, work is life. I'm always working because God is working in me all the time. Thank you, Pastor, for this message. Yeah, God is working in us all the time. Esther says, by working, I unveil potentials hidden within me, in me, thus revealing God. Right. Joseph says, Pastor Sunday, thank you so much for giving us this teaching free. People pay money to get true and good teaching like this. Well, thank you. Justin Mayo said, from now on, I will work 24/7 to redeem my time. Adetoro said, Dr. Sunday Adelaja is a new school of ministry. You will need to start that in Nigeria. Joseph Ibitolu said, nice to know that through work, one can unveil one's talent and potential. Queen Olive said, Pastor, you need to work on so many things more than this could happen. People are in imprisonment of religion. Please continue your message. T. Ward said, Joseph was a governor. Dorcas was a fashion designer. Samuel says, this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, that you observe to do what is in it. That is work. Work day and night. Kate Rock says, work better helps you realize your potentials, and through work, you can realize new potentials. Thus, through work, you can realize yourself. TY say, thank you so much. Every day you unveil new truth into our lives. By the way, if you are new here and you've just joined, you have missed out on a lot because we've been doing this for 4 months now. So if you want to go and listen to some of the old messages that have been preached, you will need to go to sundayadelajahblog.com. sundayadelajahblog.com. www.sundayadelajahblog, one word.com. If you go there, you'll see the video blog, and then you could go there and go through the playlist and listen to as many messages as you want to. You could also find more messages on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official, and go through the playlist and find all the video broadcasts, daily broadcasts. That will really help you. Afolabi Victor said, God worked the vision in man, man worked the vision out, and if you don't work, your dream will die with you. Wow, that's so true. Matthias says, Pastor, you are releasing us from prison and making the world more meaningful. Thank God. Noel says, work is honorable for marriage. May all the married men yet to have a job get one. A married man that has no work should do any work to earn money for his family, even if he or she is not a graduate or is a graduate. Pastor Malambo, work is very vital because until you work, nothing happens, nothing works. Until you work, nothing works. Good. Yetunde says, brethren, please share as well. Spread the word about this live broadcast. This is a forum. Sandra says, I'm working to unveil the great treasures God has deposited inside of me. Sometimes I never know what I possess until I get to work. Right. Gift says, God bless you, doctor, for saving me from self-guilt there. This job I do in restaurant includes Sunday, in once or twice. Ifelma said, we started doing book reviews live on Facebook. Please join us. Oh, wow, that's a good one. I hope you are reviewing Pastor Sunday's books as well. Sony Nwabuno said, a pastor said, I've missed it just because I was on duty on a Sunday. I told him to go search the Bible more. Christina Lampe said, please confirm me that it was you that contacted me, Pastor. I didn't contact you. Christina. If you look at my blog, my Facebook, you see that I am giving announcement all the time about the fake people contacting people. Those are fake people opening my Facebook and using my name to contact people for money. I did not contact you, Christina, so I'm sorry. It's not me. It's not me. It's people who want to steal your money that are doing that. They use my photograph and go and be writing people. I keep on announcing about the imposters all the day, every day. Anyway, I think it's about time. Okay, somebody said, oh, I should tell you what makes this day special. Oh, it's because of what I'm doing with Nigerian government. I need to, give a call to the Nigerian government. So I need to do a lot of official things today. That's what makes it special. It's a day that I want to, So anybody who needs to get in touch with me concerning the Nigerian government, please write me, pastor@godembassy.org. Okay, thank you so much. Our time is up again, and we need to go now. And I have so many things waiting for me to do today. So God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll be back in the evening. Every evening, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, 7 p.m. British time, 2 p.m. American time. And every morning, 7:30 a.m. Nigerian time, 7:30 a.m. British time, 2:30 a.m. Eastern time in America. God bless you all. Bye.